Your cat is curled up on your lap, purring softly, and every instinct you have reads that sound as pure contentment. Now picture something much harder to hear. Veterinarians report cats purring while giving birth, purring while injured, purring in their final moments before death. If purring were simply the sound of happiness, none of that should make any sense at all. And yet it happens constantly, consistently, across almost every cat clinic on Earth, which means that soft rumble you've spent your whole life interpreting as joy is actually something far stranger and far more useful than contentment. Let's start with the mechanism itself, because even that is stranger than most people realize. Purring is produced by extremely rapid twitching of the muscles in a cat's larynx, contracting and relaxing roughly 25 to 50 times per second, combined with movement of the diaphragm. This isn't a passive vibration like a growl or a snore. It's an active, controlled neural process, driven by a specific oscillator in the brain that fires signals to those laryngeal muscles in a steady, repeating rhythm. And critically, cats produce this sound on both the inhale and the exhale, a continuous loop of controlled muscular vibration that most other animals simply cannot replicate. This is not incidental noise. It's a deliberately engineered biological signal, and evolution doesn't build something this specific, this energy-intensive, for no functional reason. Here's where the story actually starts, and it begins almost immediately after birth. Kittens are born blind and deaf, completely unable to see their mother or hear her voice. But they can feel vibration. Within days of birth, sometimes within hours, kittens begin purring while nursing, and so does the mother. Researchers believe this early purring functions as a tactile communication channel, a way for a blind, deaf newborn to signal location and well-being to its mother, and for the mother to signal calm reassurance back, all through touch and vibration rather than sound or sight. From the very first days of a cat's life, purring isn't about broadcasting happiness outward. It's about maintaining connection and safety during total sensory darkness. Now here's where things get genuinely uncomfortable for the happy purr theory. Veterinarians and cat behaviorists have documented extensively and repeatedly cats purring in situations that have absolutely nothing to do with contentment. Cats purr while in active labor, a process that is physically demanding and often painful. Cats purr while injured, sometimes severely, limping into emergency clinics still audibly vibrating. And in one of the most striking examples, veterinarians frequently report cats purring during their final moments of life, including during euthanasia, a moment with no plausible connection to joy whatsoever. If purring only meant happiness, these cases would be inexplicable contradictions. Instead, they point towards something much more specific: purring as a self-directed physiological tool, not an outward expression of mood. This is where the science gets genuinely fascinating and where a controversial but seriously researched hypothesis comes in. The specific frequency range cats purr at, roughly 25 to 50 Hz, overlaps closely with frequency ranges that some studies have linked to improved bone density, tissue repair, and pain reduction in vibrational therapy research. Acoustic researcher Elizabeth von Muggenthaler, who has studied purring extensively, has proposed that this frequency range may function as a low-intensity, self-administered healing mechanism, essentially a built-in vibrational therapy session a cat can trigger whenever its body needs it. This remains an active and somewhat debated area of research, not settled textbook fact, but it offers a genuinely compelling explanation for something that has puzzled veterinarians for a long time. Here's the detail that makes this hypothesis land even harder. Cats, compared to similarly sized mammals, have remarkably low rates of certain bone-healing complications and joint degeneration, despite spending an enormous portion of their lives, often 16 hours a day or more, in near-total physical stillness. Most mammals rely heavily on regular weight-bearing movement and muscle activity to maintain bone density and joint health. A cat sleeping for 2/3 of every single day should, in theory, be at meaningfully higher risk for the kind of bone and joint deterioration that comes with prolonged inactivity. Some researchers believe purring may be quietly compensating for that gap, a built-in maintenance mechanism running during all those motionless hours, potentially helping stimulate bone and tissue repair, even while the cat itself does almost nothing physically at all. Now connect that idea back to the injury and birth and death cases, and the pattern stops looking contradictory and starts looking remarkably consistent. A cat in labor is undergoing intense physical strain. A cat with a broken bone or deep wound is in active pain and in urgent need of tissue repair. A cat in its final hours is under profound physiological stress. In every one of these scenarios, if purring genuinely functions as a low-grade self-soothing and potentially tissue-supporting mechanism, triggering it constantly would make complete biological sense, not as an expression of how the cat feels, but as an active attempt by the body to manage pain, stress, and physical damage in real time. Purring during a happy nap on your lap and purring during a medical emergency might be the exact same tool, deployed for two very different reasons. There's also a psychological layer here worth sitting with. Purring appears to trigger a mild endorphin release in cats, contributing to a calming, self-soothing effect, similar to how humans might take slow, controlled breaths, hum quietly, or rock gently when stressed or in pain. Under this framework, a purring cat at the vet isn't confused or malfunctioning. It's actively deploying one of the only self-regulation tools available to it, the same tool it developed as a blind newborn reaching for its mother, now repurposed across an entire lifetime for physical repair, emotional regulation, and comfort, in situations ranging from a lazy Sunday afternoon to the most physically demanding moments a cat's body will ever face. So the next time your cat purrs contentedly in your lap, that part of the interpretation still holds. It genuinely can mean comfort and safety. But the next time you hear a cat purring somewhere that makes no emotional sense, an injured stray, a cat in a veterinary waiting room, an animal clearly in distress, understand what you're actually witnessing, not confusion, not a mixed signal. A biological tool built before birth, refined across millions of years, quietly doing the same job it has always done, managing pain, encouraging repair, and providing comfort, whether the moment calls for celebration or survival. If this changed how you'll hear your cats purr from now on, hit subscribe, because this channel keeps uncovering the ancient instincts hiding behind the everyday things your cat does. And if you've ever heard a cat purring in a moment that confused you, send them this video. Now you'll finally understand why.